Hello lovely ones, this is Anushka and welcome to your May astrology and tarot reading. I just wanted to give you this little update to let you know what's going to be going on this month. So Uranus is moving into Taurus and this is really exciting. Everyone's talking about it. So I'm going to be talking about that mainly in your astrology as I'm shuffling your cards this month. Plus I'm going to be doing a Uranus into Taurus special, okay, for each and every sign, and this is going to be a tarot reading plus a more in-depth look at the astrology. This reading is going to be available on my site and it's going to be available for only 80p. It will be paid because of the fact that I do so many videos and I think it's only fair that I ask a little contribution. So if you want to go to my website, I'm going to be releasing that video, the Uranus into Taurus video special on the 15th of May, and I will include a link to that underneath every single monthly. I'll update them. I'll also just release a little video letting you guys know that it's now out and you can go to my site if you want to check that out. What else did I want to tell you? Okay, also a huge thank you to all you Cancers out there. Thank you so much guys for all of your support and your interactions. I get so much energy from you, it's beautiful. Virgo is another one, but Cancer, you are right up there. And you know, I did say that I was going to start doing mid-monthly updates for the signs that watch the most of my videos. So Cancer, it's you. So on the 15th you're going to get your Uranus into Taurus special, and Cancer, you're also going to get your mid-month update, which will be just a special tarot reading for you guys, just as a big thank you. I very much believe in reciprocating energy, so I really appreciate that. I'm really excited about this transit. It's a big deal, that's why so many people are talking about it, and I think we're going to see a lot of revolution, evolution, and people seeking freedom in some really amazing ways, and some real leaps forward. So awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now onto your monthly. Hello Libra, welcome to your May 2018 astrology and tarot reading with me, Anushka. So this month for you sees you starting to look at matters of intimacy and focus and shine a light there. Things to do with loans and resources, the things you share with your partner and legacy start to come into a focus now for you, and you tend to want to go deeper on matters and you're not so much interested in the superficial. This is that time when the spotlight is, you know, it's shining on your 8th house. Uranus, of course, is going to be moving into your 8th house on the 15th with a new moon there, which will be ushering in this Uranian energy, almost like an invitation, I feel. Bringing us all into this new phase of Uranus in Taurus. So for you, this is going to see great change around your understanding of yourself in your intimate relationships. It's going to see a need perhaps, or an urge for you to want to be independent in terms of finances. You may find that relying on other people's money or shared resources doesn't work so well, or there may be some major changes that happen within that, which really echoes the sentiment of Pluto and Saturn being in your 4th house, where, you know, they're both retrograde at the moment, which I feel is helping us to be able to integrate this new energy that Uranus is going to bring. But certainly you're going to see changes on the home front, on your in your intimate life with your partnerships. This could see a move, this could see a breakup, this could all a divorce of some kind, you know, and a separation, or at the same time this could see a coming together. But there will be major shifts in these areas, and Mars is going to clash with Uranus when he moves in on the 15th, so there'll be this real urge, this real desire for freedom. So I urge you to look out for the dates of the 14th, the 15th and the 16th. Expect to see major things occurring, not only in the world out there, but there may be some big events that happen that really alter the course of your life, you know, in a big way for the first time this year, or that really affects the rest of the year. So just be aware of that. We've got Jupiter retrograde in your 2nd house still. You know, this is you looking at your beliefs around your self-worth, your resources, how you use your resources. So we've got a lot of the big planets retrograde while Uranus is going is still going forward. And I feel like the reason these planets are retrograde is in order so that we are using their energies, we're using their archetypes in a more inwardly fashion, because the change of Uranus moving into Taurus, it may be so jarring that in fact we'll be glad and grateful that these other planets are retrograde, because they actually provide a little bit of relief and a little bit of that space for us to be able to integrate this new Uranian energy, which is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be it's going to finances and home and the way we deal with currencies in a state of change, and what we value in society. It's going to be greatly affected. Weather patterns as well. I expect to see things like volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, not constantly, but I do expect to see that. So I've already pre-shuffled your cards, unlike what I said in my intro. But so I've pre-shuffled your cards. So we're going to start off with the Celtic Cross. I've got 3 lots here. I've got the Enchanted Map by Kellett Baron Reid, which I really love. That's beautiful imagery. And these are some angel cards from when I was like about 17 years old. I've had them for years, by Dan Cooper. And they just offer affirmations, which I really love. Okay, so we're going to start off with your Rider-Waite. And we're doing the Celtic Cross again. So this is how you're coming into the month. You're coming in with the Ace of Cups there, and on the reverse, and then crossed by Strength. And then your recent past, the Ace of Swords. And in your near future, we've got the Two of Pentacles. So it looks like there's a sense of, it looks to me like already big dynamics are going on, and we're looking at balance, and this makes me wonder about when I was talking about shared resources. So we're looking at shared resources, we're looking at the balance between, to me, what appears to be my emotional, it's because I'm being run down. I try and get my words out. We're looking at the balance so far of what appears to be, you know, my emotional and mental capacities, and how I'm using them. Okay, and then this is what is you want to kind of bring into your conscious awareness, what you want to bring into your conscious experience. And then below, okay, cool, so we've got the 5 of Rods, the 5 of Wands. And then, I hope I'm doing these straight for the camera because I always go a bit wonky. It should be fine. Okay, and then this is what you can do, and how you can kind of show up in the situation, or how you are showing up in the situation. And then this is your home environment, or not home environment, but the environment around you. Your hopes and fears. Well, this is interesting because this is what we're talking about with the 4th house, wasn't it? Death as well. It's the 8th house, so we're looking at 4th and 8th house matters there. And once again, 8th house matters. Okay, and there we have the 2 of Cups. Let's pull another one. Okay, right. And the 7 of Wands. So what I'm seeing already is about partnerships, balance, my structure, my home, things changing around my structure in a home. What I'm seeing here, Libra, is that you guys are struggling on some level with the ability to make a decision, it seems, and to perhaps to let go of something, to stick up for yourself. And it definitely relates to partnership, it relates to home. And you know, your 8th house, we've got your we've got your 8th house represented here and here. We've got the 4th house represented here. So we're talking intimacy, we're talking shared resources, we're talking shared values, we're talking legacy, we're talking finances, and we're talking your stability, your home, your roots, what it is that grounds you. And then we've got, of course, the 5 here, which is to do with the 5th house, creativity, romance, love. But what I'm seeing here with this 5, I mean, look at this. These two cards really, they echo one another, don't they? And they both come in on the reverse. So something is happening here with you and your relationships, Libra. And I'm feeling like there's a refusal. So we're starting off the month, and it's with the 8 of Cups. Now, for me, the 8 of Cups in this position, it means that we're acknowledging that we need to go and we need to be willing to go on a journey of discovering something or reclaiming something that has been lost. And it's not from a sense of not appreciating what we have, but it's knowing that this must be done in order to come to a place of completion and wholeness. But when it's on the reverse, this is telling me that there's almost like a refusal to acknowledge that something is amiss, or a refusal to kind of want to face that there is something that needs to be either sought out, let go of, or faced. And usually it's on an emotional level. So this makes me wonder, you know, is there something going on the home front or in relationships that is perhaps in some ways has been feeling a bit too painful for you to want to face? You know, that's what I wonder, because it seems to me here like, we'll go into the other cards in a second, but it seems to me here like we've got, you know, there's conflict going on. Now this could represent your own inner conflict. Says to me, you're in a position, I'm feeling like you're in a position where you are either involved with someone or involved with a business, a group, an association, could be even friendships, but somehow I feel that money and resources are tied into this, and it's not working, or something has not been working, and perhaps there's a feeling of people fighting over things, and for some reason, Libra, you are not standing up for yourself, you are not standing your ground, even though you know something is amiss, and this situation either needs to be left, or you need to stand up for yourself and make your voice heard in order to help resolve the situation, or in order to make it balanced and to get fairness out of it. But I feel like at the moment you're avoiding that, and you're thinking, how best can I juggle, and how best can I almost please everyone, which in a way is quite a Libra thing to do, because you know, you guys are the sign of relationships and balance, and you want balance. I mean, look, we've got balance. You know, in a sense, although this is a lack of decision making, you know, we have the twos there. It's about balance. So you're seeking balance, Libra, and that's quite clear. But balance is not about managing everybody else's wants and needs and only adhering to them. Balance has to take into account your own needs, your own wishes. And I feel perhaps there may be some fear of loss, fear that you may lose. Because in your hopes and wishes, and I know I'm skipping around here, in your hopes and dreams, we have the Four of Wands, which is, to me, it's about, you know, security, celebration, home, family, stability, you know, and rejoicing in what we've built together. And I don't know if some of you are looking at a relationship or a partnership, business partnership, or even a job that you've worked at for a long time, and maybe you're looking at that and you're thinking, and you're just thinking, it doesn't work for me anymore. I don't feel like my needs are being met anymore. I don't feel like this is an expression of myself, or I'm not in love with that person or what I'm doing anymore. But yet I'm looking at everything I've built and everything we've built, and we've had so much success. Is it really worth me walking away from this? Can I really walk away from this? On some level, I feel like that's what some of you guys are looking at. And I don't know how much, I feel like you're wanting to express yourself clearly, and I think you will end up, this to me speaks of Uranus, I think you're going to end up, you will end up making that break. There will be something, and whether you do or it may not be you, or someone else may come in, and there may be something that just, whatever the situation is, whether it's to do with your home, your work, partnerships, you know, a loved one, whatever this tension is that has gotten you slightly, that's gotten you feeling a sense of inner conflict, and looking at how you can almost do damage limitation. I feel like what's going to happen is something's going to come in, some shocking message, some shocking event is going to happen, and it's all just going to be blown open anyway, and you're going to find that this inner tension that you are feeling, and this kind of lack of movement, you know, you're here, you're not making a decision, and you're refusing to really go in search of what it is that it to really take the next step on your journey. You're refusing to make that decision. I feel like it's because of relationships. It's because you don't want to hurt anyone, or it's because you maybe don't want to see that things are falling apart. You're refusing the change, I feel, at the moment. And at the moment, maybe the time isn't ripe for the change. But I can guarantee that that change will come about, and it will come in very quickly and very suddenly. And this to me is Uranus coming into that 8th house, and it will affect either your finances, people that you share, things that are of importance to you. It will affect, if you are in the business of managing finances, if you're in the financial industry, there may be very big changes on your career and your job in the workplace. So I feel like it will affect that, and it may well affect home life as well. But what I like is that you're being crossed with strength. So I feel like you will be safe and you will be protected in this. And this kind of speaks to me of Mars, which is going to be, where are we? Mars is currently in Capricorn. This kind of speaks to me of, I'm getting confused with another sign. Yeah. But I feel like you will be protected. You will have that inner strength and resilience to see that through. But you have to remember your inner strength. You have to remember just how strong you are, Leo, and that you can stand strong on your own. If you need to walk away from something, if it's too draining for you to be juggling, for you to be in this position where you're managing everyone else's expectations and happiness and not getting your own needs met, then, you know, really, all that's doing is weakening you. And that's what I'm seeing here is, you know, I feel like Libra is saying, I don't want to have to fight. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm having to fight for what I want. I don't want to be feeling this internal conflict. Why can't people just be decent, basically? And why can't they be fair? Why can't everyone be, you know, humanitarian, and why can't everyone be considerate of each other's needs? Because what I want is this happy balance. I want this happy balance of partnership and give and take and intimacy and success and stability, and I feel like it's available to you. But there are going to be some major shocks and major changes that will come about, and in some ways I feel the reason that these changes are coming about are because you've refused to make a decision. On some level, I feel you've refused to make a decision, and you've refused to stand up for yourself. And I feel like you're aware that there's something on the horizon that's about to give. You know, it's almost like the tension is boiled up, and then the pot's just going to blow off the lid. And that's what happens with these energies, with planets and with astrology. When an energy comes along, we can either work with it consciously and actually guide it and mold it. And it's almost like having a stream of water between your hands, and you can direct where it goes. But when that energy comes along and either you're unconscious of it or you choose to ignore it, what will happen is it will then, it will jar you, and it will move you in whatever way is necessary for you to take ownership of and claim it. Okay? It will kind of knock on your door a few times, and then if you refuse to knock, if you continue to ignore it, eventually it will break that door down. And I feel on some level, Libra, that there's something you've been getting intuitions about, feelings about. This tension's been there, and it's been knocking, and you haven't wanted to let it in, perhaps because you didn't want to ruin the harmony. You wanted to keep playing that balancing act in that game. But guess what? That's not going to happen. Uranus is going to come along, it's going to change things. But it's okay, because you have this strength to deal with it, and out of it there will come a sense of balance. But it may be that at first you feel somewhat overwhelmed and overcome. Okay, so let's see what advice we've got to help you through this period. So acknowledgement, I love that. So what did I just say? I said when we don't acknowledge, when we aren't consciously aware of these energies, they end up barreling down our doors. They end up being like a tidal wave in our lives, like a thunderstorm. It's always best to try and work to acknowledge what is going on, to acknowledge what is going on within you, to acknowledge your own truth, so that you can work with it. Let me read this out to you. Acknowledgement. Look after yourself by acknowledging your desires and needs and taking steps to meet them. Examine and note your gifts, talents, and achievements. When you accept all aspects of yourself, you feel centered and confident. Then you can genuinely acknowledge others. Become aware of and nurture the good qualities of the people in your life so that they feel relaxed and happy in your experience, in your presence. Angel wisdom reminds you to recognize who you truly are, an evolved spirit in a human body. When you acknowledge your spiritual dimensions, you will align with your true self and your spirit will soar. I acknowledge who I truly am. This to me is about acknowledging. Sometimes it's really hard to acknowledge when we feel like sometimes it's really hard to acknowledge when we feel something that might hurt somebody else. So when we start to fall out of love with somebody, for instance, or when we feel something that seems inconvenient, it can be very hard to acknowledge that. And I feel in some ways this is what you've been struggling with, Libra. And you know, Mercury is there in your 7th house. Uranus has been in your 7th house, bringing change, upheaval, you know, unusual things, unusual dynamics to your relationships. And I feel like any tension that's been there is going to suddenly just
you know, as it moves into Taurus in the 8th, it's going to suddenly, you're going to see that tension suddenly really kind of brought to the forefront, and you won't be able to ignore it anymore. You will have to acknowledge, and from there, use the strength that you have to move forward. Okay, and what have we got here? Magic Stream. Look at the, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, definitely can't see it now. So Magic Stream. So you see that? Okay, lovely. So for me, this card, I mean, I love the flamingo there. To me, this card is like I was saying about water. The waters of life, the waters and energies of life and consciousness. We have the ability to direct those energies. We have the ability to, we are such gifted beings. We don't understand just how powerful we are. We have the ability to flow consciousness, to flow universal magic and energy, to create, to manifest, to experience whatever it is we choose. But first of all, we have to consciously acknowledge all that we are, all that we desire, all that we may try and hide from, so we can bring it into light, and then we can direct the flow of life, and we can be in the flow of life. What I would like to do is I'd like to read the official interpretation for this, because I've not long had these cards, so I'll be familiar with the official interpretation, but that's what I would say to you from my own sense of intuition. Let me just quickly find it. So here we go. Oh, and I love this. Right, every experience you have seems to have its own life story, with a beginning, a middle, and eventually an end. So this very much speaks of what we're talking about. There is something that's about to change for you in a big way, and it's to do with home, family, resources, intimacy, partnerships. Okay? There is a danger in seeing events as separate from one another, since in fact they are all part of a continuity and a greater evolution. Like an ever-flowing magic stream, your experiences filter through the whole world, one leading into another, informing and influencing still more. Inspiration, invention, and revelations really come to just one person. The collective awareness is a shared storehouse of potential. When you remember you're part of the fluid continuity of life, you become a channel for a great inspiration. Allow the magic to flow through you and carry your dreams into reality. Your success will benefit many. So this is saying to me, Libra, that what you've been resisting, perhaps what you haven't been acknowledging, you will have to, I think you are going to see yourself in a process of surrender and letting go, but I think that we will see great rewards as a result. But something is going to be let go of in order for something new to come in. But as that interpretation said, remember that everything is a part of that one big story, and no events are separate. Okay, Libra, I hope you enjoyed that. Please join me on the 15th of May. Go to my website, where I'll be releasing an in-depth look at Uranus moving into the sign of Taurus, what it means for you. It'll be an in-depth astrological and also tarot reading. Okay, fantastic. I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.